Welcome back, ladies and gents, to another episode of Coffee Talk. Now, I always thought it was Coffee Talk. Never mind. I want to make sure. Okay, my voice is capturing. I have to redo the last episode entirely, as I believe I forgot to open my voice app. So, bear with me, ladies and gents. Thursday, October 1st, 2020. Coachella organizer reminds parents not to allow their children to attend unsupervised. Rachel Florenzia confirmed to perform at Coachella 2020. Jill Naiman and Maruki Harakumi to collaborate for a new IP. Hold up. I got stories. The only reason to learn how to fly by Freya Fatima. It happened again. I told her as I exhaled smoke. What? I took the train once to get here and fell in love twice. Not this again. Sighed, looking like she wanted to stub her own cigarette out on my face. I just can't help it. She said nothing. It's way easier, you know? Seeing someone from afar, letting your imagination roam as you daydream about how he or she lives, ignoring the fact that what you see is not the way they really are. It's way easier. You can't keep doing this to yourself. You know you need something real. I mean, this might be a stupid suggestion, but you still use that dating app, right? Try to be more open-minded when you use it. I agree. Good. I agree that it was a stupid suggestion. She looked pissed. I couldn't blame her. It's not like this was the first time we talked about this. In fact, this conversation tended to happen around once a season. You need to stop overthinking. Go out and stop putting impossible expectations on people. Well said. I think this is sometimes can be a simple barrier to a good relationship, is just expecting way too much. Not saying lower your standards, but there are some things that you have to understand are impossible to meet. I know of a few things that I tend to expect that I never push on people because I know it's me expecting it, and I try to what's the word? Dampen it down, because I'm hoping for something that's impossible. How I like to put it is, I hope for something impossible, but I don't expect anything. Because those expectations are impossible to meet. I don't want to enforce that on anyone. I don't want to have anyone have to try and reach that point in life. I have hopes, but my expectations are not the same. There's a difference. Is the best way I could put it. You know I can't do that. I've tried. I get overexcited at any opportunity. And how's that served you so far? Now, I was the one who said nothing. I'm afraid, I said. Of what? Of what will come later. I'm afraid that even if I find the right person for me, the people around me won't accept them, whoever they are. Fuck the people around you. Another super stupid suggestion. I could be jailed for that. Okay. She took a long drag of her cigarette and narrowed her eyes. What happened to you recently? Huh? You don't usually overthink quite this much. Something must have just happened. Truth is, something did happen. Something too silly to even be discussed. She knew me. She knew about my problem. But I told her. This is also another, I think, key detail to point out from here is just, there are going to be hardships. You might fall in love with someone that people around you don't like. It might be a Romeo and Juliet story. That's life. Life is gonna throw you curveballs like that all the time, and I don't think you will ever find a perfect situation. And that's fine. Learn how to grow and adapt with it, and to get the best results, I think, is a better way to live. I'm preaching too much, I feel. And I'm probably on a high horse that doesn't have much experience behind it. It's just what I do, I guess. I'm trying to dampen it down. Um, I watched a stand-up comedy show. Seriously? It's true. I watched one of my favorite stand-up comedians. I knew recently got married to someone he loved. Someone I thought was very similar to him. All this time, I thought he took the easy way out, finding someone who'd quickly be accepted by the family he was born in and the family he's about to make. But it turned out his journey was far from easy. There were hardships I never knew he faced. And when he talked about it, it scared me. This is more what I'm relating to, is life's gonna be hard. That's life. But I believe that we can all push through to keep going on. I think that life being that way is a way to build us up and to make us into who we are. It also helps with stories and stuff. You have experiences you could tell people. You can face the hardships so that you can help others not face that same thing. I think a wonderful way to look at it is, while it sucks that you're facing it, you can help someone else not, or where someone else doesn't have to face it, which could be a life changer, literally and figuratively. Why? The fact that I'll have to deal with it someday. The fact that I might have to choose between, at least when I see people on the train and imagine a life with them, those imaginary people don't create these kinds of problems. They do create a different kind of problem, though. She's right. You know, sometimes I feel like I want to go to the tallest building in the city and just jump. To die? That's not a to fly, you fool. Because if that really happened, all the things that are scaring me won't matter. I can fly. Why the hell would I still care about all these boring everyday problems? Before you say anything, this was almost exactly how, when I first recorded it, went. I commented several times on all this stuff. And this is something that I think is something to think about. Don't let your dreams... It's hard to explain. I forgot how I was explaining it. But make your dreams a reality. In this case, this guy is saying, if I could fly, I could forget all my problems. I don't think that would be the case. You might be able to postpone them, you might be able to try and forget about them more, but there's still gonna be the same problem. That's how life is. Make that dream, though, a reality. If you don't want to face those problems, find ways to fix them, to solve them, to prevent them. And to figure out how to fly if you want it, I guess. Go for it. I believe in you. I think you could do it. But don't just let that be a dream, a thought, a idea, a hope that you have. Make that a reality. Make that the reality you live in. Anyways, I keep interrupting. I apologize. Ain't that the dream, weirdo? She said as she lit another cigarette, leaving the discussion unresolved until it comes back around with the spring. I've talked so much. Sorry, we're not open yet. Oh, Neil. You come very early today. Is there anything I could help you with? There's definitely something that you can do. What is it? Can we work here? Excuse me. What? Is it possible for us to work here? What? Why? We have learned something precious since we first arrived here. Communication is very important on Earth, and Earthlings communicate in a very complicated way. It blows our mind to learn that you need to mix between verbal and nonverbal communication here. Yes, but I can see that your communication skills improved an awful lot since you arrived. I'm gonna interrupt again. This is just a recreation of the last episode. I'm not even joking. One thing I started to pick up on is like awful lot. Take that, an awful lot. Does that mean a little, a lot? Like, you could say a great lot, or you could say an awful lot. Does that mean that the amount is on the lower end because it's awful, or is on the lower quality? Like, it's one of those sayings that we say all the time, but it's kind of weird to think about. Like, does that actually grammatically make sense? What does that necessarily mean grammatically? Just an interesting tidbit. That is true, but it is not enough. Some of the biggest lessons about Earthlings we have learned. We learned them here. This made us think. Instead of focusing on finding a breeding partner, we should focus on learning how to communicate with Earthlings properly. Sounds like a good strategy. This is why we asked you to allow us to work here. Because you want to interact with our customers? That is correct. I'm not so sure about this. Neil, normally if you're applying for a job on Earth, you have to go through certain processes before you could finally get the job. If you get it at all. Oh. Let me think this over if you don't mind. And I'll let you know tomorrow. Oh, no. We're sorry for our spontaneity? 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 Spontaneity. Spontaneity. I remember having trouble on this. I can't get it out. But it has to be today. May I know why? Because we're leaving for an event tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Thank you. But with one condition. You won't be making any drink. I'll handle that. Once I'm done, you will give the cup to the customer. Understood. There are other things you need to keep in mind. What is that? Dealing with the customers. Some people come here just to chill. They might just come for a drink, work, or to read something. I strongly suggest you let them be. But always be prepared if they want to talk about anything. How do we know whether people want to be left alone or not? That won't be easy. But you'll be able to judge based on their body language. Nonverbal signs? Yes. That will be very hard for us. Indeed. Don't worry. I'll give you a sign. When you should start talking, or when you should stop. Thank you. We will need that much, so much. Wow. That's basically all you need to do here. Do we need a special outfit to do the job? Not really. I'll lend you an apron though. To help keep your suit clean. And to differentiate you from the customers. You don't really need more differentiation. But it will make you look more legit for the job. It is a very Earthling thing to do. It is. Alright then. Are you ready for this? We are. Okay. Let's start the night. Welcome. Holy wow. What the hell is happening? Good evening, Miss Freya. Hey, Knight, what's going on here? Well, Neil's working here tonight. And I thought I was the one who brought bad news. Never thought this place would be ground zero for an alien invasion. It's not that. Neil's just helping out. You've never looked like someone who needs help. There are a few things to clarify, Miss Freya. First, our mission was never about conquering Earth. In fact, it was the other way around. Second, judging from this situation, we are actually the person who is getting help from the barista. Not the other way around. What? We have learned some things since we arrived, and we came to the conclusion. Before starting another breeding mission, we should learn more about the Earthling, how Earthlings communicate. We thought this place would be the best place to learn. And you just agreed to this? On one condition. I make the drinks. Neil will only be here to serve and communicate. Fair trade. What's in it for you then? What? You're helping them here. What do you get in return? Now that you mention it, if there's anything you want from us, please do not hesitate to ask. Don't mention it. Well, maybe you could be my next story. I can write an article about your work. Freya. If I still need to write for the paper again. What happened? The chief found out. Oh. Is that why you didn't come yesterday? Yes. How did she find out? Remember my fateful meeting with the higher up? In the elevator? Yes. The same thing happened with my chief. They met each other in the lift, and the higher up mentioned our encounter to her. The chief called me into our office, and things went downhill from there. She realized immediately that it was the reason for my poor performance lately. She didn't like it, of course. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you gonna do now? Write the goddamn novel, I guess. And after that, hope that it sells well. If not, I don't know. And sometimes that's just the case. Sometimes you don't know. We do not understand what is really happening, Miss Freya. But we feel the immense sadness and frustration you feel. How about a warm cup of drink? It is on the house. Huh? You allowed to do that? We will pay for the drink. No, it's okay. It's on the house. It was a nice thing to do, Neil. It is. It's a very nice thing when people do that. That was the best thing to do, according to our senses. It was. So, what do you want to drink, Miss Freya? Your favorite. Our favorite. Anything. I trust you with the decision. Okay, I'm gonna make the same thing I made for her last time, which is the Milky Way, which is a milk-based drink. Milk, honey, and something else I didn't see. I meant. Sweet and cool like outer space. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I was gonna say, look, it's Neil's hand. It's sad because I've already played this episode, so there's a little bit less excitement. Like the novelty of the first time and doing it in a while is kind of rubbed off a bit. But speaking of which, I'm gonna double check. Sorry, ladies and gents. I just have to make sure that everything is still recording properly. Okay. Here is your drink, especially crafted by the owner of this coffee shop. Well, who else is gonna brew it? Thank you so much, boys. I wonder if there's a specialty drink for her on this day. If you're supposed to give her something else. I always wondered why your place only served hot drinks. But today I might have an idea why. How far along are you with the novel? I could prepare the draft in a few days, I think. Now that I don't really need to care about other deadlines. And if I manage to infuse some coffee and creativity in my blood, that sounds doable. Even without the caffeine infusion. Excuse me, Miss Freya. We have learned extensively about Earthlings' bodies, about all the races. And we do not think infusing your blood with coffee should be advisable. Would be. I'm sorry, Neil. Not really in the mood for this sort of conversation. It was just... Neil. Freya wasn't serious about infusing herself with coffee. Oh. We're glad to hear that. That was a figure of speech. Ah, we have heard about them, that term. It's still very hard to understand your language. It will always be hard. Languages will always keep changing. Understood. At least we are here now to learn the basics of how Earthlings communicate. Miss Freya, if we may ask away. How fast do you write? Not fast enough, apparently. But do you have numbers? Numbers? How many words do you produce per day? I don't think I have an exact number, but full time, I should be able to write between 3,000 and 5,000 words per day. That's a lot. That's raw. After that, I still need to edit it. I usually end up with about half of what I originally wrote. According to our research, the standard number of words for the thing you need to write is between 50 and 100,000. That's right. But for this draft, I don't need to write that much. That is a pleasant information to hear. How many words do you need to write? Let's see. I think it should be around 15,000 words. That's pretty big for a pitch draft. Well, it's GRA Media, the biggest publisher around. If we count based on the number of words, it seems like you will be able to achieve your target easily. I wish. Writing isn't only about the number of words, Neil. It requires things outside the mere word count. If we only judged writers by their ability to write a large number of words, then we wouldn't have poetry or short stories. It is pretty hard to understand, but we have learned beforehand that art is a difficult matter, even for Earthling. Yup. Earthlings seem to have a fascination for things which are hard to understand, from languages to art. Right again. We're not that wrong about writing, you know? Word count is one of the few things you can objectively judge a story by. It's not the most important thing, but it's still up there. So it is still a valid parameter? Definitely. Cool. That didn't sound at all like you, Neil. I guess you really are learning something on Earth. Myrtle. Oh, another guest. Good evening, Miss Myrtle. I won't even ask. Except for one thing. Who's making the drink? I'm still the one responsible for that. Good. Coffee with a little bit of ginger, please. Isn't it? That, I think, is what she's looking for? Yep. Doo-doo-doo. I know the beginning of this episode was very preachy. The rest of it, as far as I remember, isn't very preachy. But those stories really get my mind working and turning. I like them. I think they're good. Your order is ready. Not bad. Thanks. You are welcome. What brings you here today, Miss Myrtle? Psst, Neil. Some people come to the coffee shop just to sit without being disturbed. Oh, that definitely seems to fit Miss Myrtle's visits here. Actually, I'm not here to just sit without being disturbed. Pardon us. I was just training Neil in how to talk with the customers here. I could see that. You still trying to get laid? Give me a second. Oh. No, we are not. We are tasked with learning how Earthlings communicate with each other. Wait. I shouldn't have gotten distracted. So, you're still trying to get laid. Oh, no, we're not. We're tasked with learning how Earthlings communicate with each other. But why is there a question mark? I don't remember there being a question mark. Anyways. Yep, that's a step in the right direction. One suggestion if you want to blend in with us. Stop using such formal language. Start talking the way we talk. Start listening the way we listen. Which essentially is not really listening at all. That would be very difficult to achieve. But we will try. Step by step. One small step for you might be one giant leap for your kind. That was nicely said, Miss Freya. By the way, Miss Myrtle, now that we know you are not here for your usual activities, are you here for someone then? Yep. Oh, is it Aqua? Uh-huh. What's the occasion? No special occasion. It's just... Aqua! I'm sorry. I'm late. I was supposed to leave early, but... What is this? What is happening here? I already told the barista to call the cops when he's said he was going to breed here. It's such a... I got it a bit better than last time, but still. It's such a masterwork. Where's Night? Miss Aqua, please, relax. I'm here. Oh, you're safe. Yes, everything is fine. Okay. Please let me take a breath. Here, please drink this water. Feeling better now? Yes. I'm sorry. It is alright, Miss Aqua. Everyone has been surprised to see me here. What are you doing here, anyway? We're starting to think that we might need to make a recording for the answer to this question. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. No problem, Miss Aqua. It is time for our break anyway. So, here's the deal. That's really interesting. Very nice of you to do this, Nice. It's nothing, really. But do you really think one day is enough to learn everything? Definitely not. But we do not want to disturb this place's business for any longer. I mentioned that them two, I think, are a cool, what was the word? Frick. Their personalities mesh in an interesting way. the way they talk, at least, mesh in a very interesting way, and I like it. He has a very Neil has very, what's the word? I guess not. I don't want to say not fluent, but a very, 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 very base, standard, professional way of speech. And Aqua, I find, or I feel at least from, I guess the character I've made, has a very like a shy, nervous, like almost lacks self-confidence kind of way that she speaks. And I think them talking together is a very interesting interaction. Wait. Oh, definitely not. But we do not want to disturb this place's business for any longer. As if this place cares about business. Besides, we want to travel around the planet more. This coffee shop is a good start, but we cannot limit ourselves to just this place. Where do you want to go after this? Coachella. What? What are you going to do at Coachella? According to our research, there are many breedings happening during Coachella. This is why we decided that the event will be our next target. It's funny, I don't actually remember this the first time I played this game. I don't remember this part. But, I mean, I just did this episode yesterday, so. Well, you're not wrong. But didn't you say that the baby was to be born out of love? Yes, we noticed that. But we also noticed that we need to know a lot more about Earthling, including the breeding man. That is why we will study in Coachella. After that, we will be very ready to breed with so many female Earthlings. I shouldn't say this, but hell, that sounds like the best plan you've had since you got here. We know. We are also surprised ourselves. But please, Miss Freya, let us stop talking about our plan. We work here today. First, let us return to our spot behind the bar. So, our discussion with Miss Myrtle was stopped abruptly. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. What are you two doing here? It's nothing. We're just friends, you know? We just want to hang out and talk about our work. We both work in the same field, remember? Yes, that's it. I don't have that much experience in game development, you see? I thought your research was in computer graphics. Yes, but I've never made a game from scratch before. I was always a bystander. So I've been asking Myrtle for feedback from time to time. Today I wanted to thank her directly, as she arrived first, so I couldn't buy her a drink. Never mind that. I'd refused it anyway. But, wait. If you want to thank her directly, does it mean you're done with the game? Excuse me, Miss Freya. It should be your and not your. Oh. So you are correcting my grammar now, huh? It's a slip of the tongue, okay? I'm sorry. How did you even pick up on that anyway? It's not like what I'm saying is written down anywhere. We just know. Back to you, Aqua. So you're done with your game? There's quite a lot of things I need to polish and fix, but players can enjoy the experience from start to finish. What kind of feedback do you give people for a video game? That depends on the game. In Aqua's case, most of my advice was about the pacing, control, and UI UX. It must be fun to have finished working on your creation. And insert to me talking about something, finishing projects or something along this sort. In short, from what I remember me talking about, what I do like about this is it is nice. That's why I was so passionate about trying to finish up Paper Beast and Spirit of the North. I'm passionate about YouTube. I'm passionate about having this as my hobby. I'm passionate about the games I play. And I know sometimes I kind of slip up on that and lose track of time or don't post for a while. So what I try to do is at least try to finish the series at some point. Even if it has to be 2 years later, I want to finish the series for me and for you guys because I'm passionate about this, and it's nice to see those series come to a close. Even if I don't want them to, it's just nice to have that kind of... It's nice to look back and be like, I finished these games, I finished these series, I'm glad, I'm happy. It surely removed some of the weight on my chest, just to replace it with another weight. You mean there's still more to come after you're done? I'm not done with my book. I just lost my job. And if I can't finish this draft on time, I'm done. And even after all that, if it doesn't sell well, I'm even more done. Doubly done. I'm sorry to hear that, Freya. This is where, like, tones kind of come into... make it weird. The whole confrontation of the difference between your and your, I felt was kind of like sassy, and then here I feel like it's kind of sarcastic. But the first time I read it, and even this time, I didn't read it as if it was sarcastic. I'm sorry, Miss Freya, but please be more confident. I'm starting even to doubt myself. I read some of your short stories, you know, after our first meeting. I subscribed to the Evening Whispers app, and then I read some of the stuff you wrote. Really good, you know? Some of them are better than others, but it's still an enjoyable experience to read them. So I'm excited to check out your book once it's done. You're too kind, Aqua. What you're going through is more or less the same as what Myrtle's going through. So I'm sure you'll both be fine. You don't have to talk about it in front of other people. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. It's just that sharing is caring, you know? Okay. Thank you for helping me share with other people. I really am sorry. I know. I said thanks already, right? But you put so much emphasis on share. That's sarcasm. I know that. Aqua. Sorry if it sounded that way. But yeah, I kind of get with what you're dealing with. This was another point I pointed out. Sometimes it might sound like it's sarcasm, even though it might not be. It might just be how they talk. Or maybe they're just annoyed. Just a change in tone. Although it's a bit different from me. What's your problem? Let me redo that. But yeah, I kind of get what you're dealing with. Although it's a bit different for me. What's your problem? Burnout. I've been working on something for 2 years straight, and no one outside the office knows about it. And those who do don't seem to appreciate it at all. I thought Full Metal Conflict had a game every 2 years. Yes. I don't really work on them. Not directly. So what do you work on? A secret project. I'll tell you under friend NDA, okay? Alright, I'm not with the paper anymore anyway. I'm part of a special team. We're tasked with making a breakthrough in the studio. We need to be able to make a prototype for a new IP. Or worst case, another FMC game in a different genre. Isn't that a dream job for some people? Huh. That's what I thought at first. You're right, alright? I mentioned being a writer, but you can't publish anything you write for a year. That doesn't sound like a pleasant situation at all. My team has been making pitches, dozens of them, hundreds, thousands. Out of all those countless pitches, only a handful got approved for prototyping. And so far, none of the prototypes have been approved. Ouch. There's only 7 of us on the team. The 7 samurai, that's what they say. So you haven't released anything for the last 2 years? Sometimes our team works to support others. When they're going through a crunch cycle, they need to hit an almost impossible target. We jump in. No wonder you folks are considered the 7th samurai. I guess, yeah. By the way, Myrtle, I just realized. What? Usually developers get their vacation time after finishing a project, right? More or less, yeah. When was the last time you had a vacation? Before I joined this company, I guess. Myrtle's also kind of weird because it's hard to tell when she's I feel she's a very stone-faced person. It's hard to tell her emotions a lot. I like it, but it's hard for me to voice act as her as I'm trying to figure out how she might be feeling. It's always like flipping a coin. It could be this or this. That's like 4 years ago. Uh-huh. Dude, no wonder you're so burned out. Oh, I love this part. Yes, that's why. You need a vacation. But I can't just take one. You can. In fact, you will do it tomorrow. But tomorrow is... I'm not done yet. You will take tomorrow, the day after, and another day after off. But where should I go? Don't worry, I'll take care of that. You will? I'm going with you for this long weekend vacation. What about Max West? That's not this weekend. Forget about it for now. Hey. Okay. But I can't do it tomorrow. How about starting Friday? It's still a long weekend getaway, right? Alright. Oh, I'm so excited. Wow, Aqua. You look like a different person. Really? I'm sorry. Don't be. Yeah, the boosted confidence looks great. Okay, it's settled then. I need to go home now. And prepare for a getaway. Look at, like, she's boosting herself up with confidence. Every breath is just another pump up confidence. I'll come with you. But to my apartment? No. We'll walk together to the bus stop, just like last time. Oh. Okay then. Everyone, see you next week, okay? Have fun. Take care out there, as it's always freaking raining. May you find joy during your vacation. Okay. See you folks later. Vacation, huh? You definitely need one, Freya. I know. But not now. I've got to finish this draft first. As we have said before, you could do it, Miss Freya. Thanks, Neil. Anyway, are you gonna close anytime soon? Depends. Why? I'm in the mood for some writing. Then please, take your time. You sure? Do you want another drink to be going on with? Still in the house. I definitely won't say no. And that, ladies and gentlemen, the Bitter Heart. Ginger, cinnamon, and milk. Because we have that drink though. Anyways, ladies, I do hope you enjoyed. I do apologize for all the preaching and stuff. Maybe that's not what you guys want to hear. I think for the rest of the game, I will probably try and read the story and then maybe preach anything afterward, just to keep it more entertaining and not having to jumble around, not interrupting myself constantly. But with that being said, I do hope you've enjoyed. I hope you're enjoying Coffee Talks. I still am. I know that this episode might seem a bit off than the last one or the last couple or whatnot, because I did already record it fully and then have to re-record it, so there's like still a bit of confusion on how people are talking, but at the same time I know it's gonna happen, and it's a strange thing having to have redone it. Cool. But regardless, I do hope you still enjoy. I hope you're having a wonderful day, night, evening, year, month, second, hour, minute, millennia, decade. I think I already said week, century, era, generation, whatever it may be for you. And as always, especially, as always, please do take care. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are safe and happy or just having a good time. Take care.